Good day, everybody. I'm David Barron. This is our regular discussion group about hypnosis. And what I've had to do is, unfortunately, the live discussion group didn't record, so I am just, for your benefit, recapping everything that we did here. Um, how I want to start is I have coming up um, uh, a podcast I'm being interviewed for. And I want to sort of give you this particular resource and why I'm giving it to you. What I did is I was on YouTube and I saw a really fascinating interview that this young lady was doing, and I went to her channel, and she has a lot of really good resources. I'm gonna share the screen with you so you can take a look at her. There we go. So this is her channel, Captainese. Her name is Uriska. She's from Slovenia. And the what I was doing as I watched this, and check it out. Uh, the reason this is an incredible resource is I started to look at some of the resources, the interviews here, and every one of the interviews, she's an incredible interviewer. Every one of the interviews, you really get to understand the the mindset of these people. Now, if you are familiar with what's called the 6 minute X-ray, or Chase Hughes has the book, the Behavior Ops Manual, I would encourage you look at it. If you're studying that, these interviews are incredibly fascinating because there's a part of the interview in which what you can do if you're familiar. Uh, Chase Hughes has what's called let me share the screen once again. What's called the behavior compass. And looking at it, it is completely opaque. It makes no sense whatsoever. But he describes the process as which you learn it. And you can learn this incredibly quickly, as, as confusing as it seems. In fact, what he did is there is another. This is 1 second here. This is his analysis of Hunter Biden. And as you learn these particular skills, you get to recognize them in conversation. And it is true. The 6 minute X-ray, 6 minutes when it's really slow. You can get much of this within just 3 minutes of a really very general conversation with people. And what you learn, and what I have certainly learned, is one of the things that seems really important for hypnotists and for just human beings in general, which is the three basic laws of human behavior. And they are, first and foremost, everyone is suffering and insecure. Everybody. Even the most confident speaker, even though I have comfort doing this in front of people and hypnotizing people, we adapt to our insecurities by creating a mask in front of ourselves that we present to the world. So these are social masks that we have as we interact and influence with people. That leads us to the second rule, which is everyone is wearing a mask. Start with those two understandings of the law. Everyone's suffering and insecure. Everyone is wearing a mask. And the third is everyone is pretending not to wear a mask. Start with those understandings, and you will begin to see it everywhere. I had an interesting experience when I was simply standing in line at the store buying some stuff. A gentleman was in front of me, a young man, And the checkout clerk was there, and her manager apparently was there bagging. And they had this sort of conversation, the young man and the checkout clerk. And when he left, the manager said, "This guy's always tries to hit on me too." And I realized this is a perfect example of the type of mask that he has, that we have. He was trying to make a presentation where he was interested and attracted to the checkout clerk. The manager, had experienced it before and gave her a warning. And so it made me chuckle, but when I realized what was going on, um, the the final law of human behavior is everyone is a product of childhood suffering and rewards. Everybody. Way back when, before we decided we needed a mask, we were completely authentic in who we are. We were enjoying life fully and completely without understanding of what the rules were of social interactions. And I have an experience that amuses me to no end. I have this memory of when I was very young at a family gathering. We were all having a picnic. My grandparents were there. I was with my twin sister and my older sister, and I think there were some other people there as well. And all I was doing is just running around chasing my twin. And at that moment, my mother wanted to get a group picture. And so she gathered everyone together around the picnic table. My grandfather was in front, and I would not settle down. I was just being that truly authentic sort of kid. And I was running around in circles. I wouldn't stand still, even though they told me to. And my grandfather, in that moment, grabbed me. And I have the memory of flailing sideways across his lap, screaming. And then my mom took the picture. And somewhere in in my mother's archive of black and white photos, you take a photo, it's on film, you get it developed, and has a print date on it. That photo was printed 3 years after I was born. So I wasn't even yet 3 years old. And that's a memory. And to my amusement, that is documented now in a photo. If I can find it, I will show it to you at some point. I haven't found it yet, but I have seen it. And so at some point, that sort of was formative to me. It sort of, what I do remember is realizing that people, that I did not like being controlled, first and foremost. That's the thing that's set in my mind. And I know, I don't know exactly how that affected me throughout my life, but I know it did. So that is there as something that is permanent in the archive of my memory, and I have documents of it. Now, going back to the interviews, what you can do is, in conversation, you start to realize when you're looking at those interviews on Uriska's channel, you can start to see the various masks that people use and how they sort of adapt to become the people that they are. They're not broken. This is a need that people have to really interact socially. And once you understand it, once you really begin to see it, something clicks, not just inside your mind, but inside your heart, and you become much more compassionate. You become much more humble. You start seeing people less as me and them, and see much more as they're just a reflection of me and I'm a reflection of them. The separation sort of stops. And this is true of even the people you object to, that sort of you react to viscerally that you don't like. And so as a hypnotist, first of all, I want to encourage everybody who's watching this to learn those skills. It's really simple, it's very easy, and it does take some mental effort. But once you just see it once and you write it down on that behavior compass, you never stop seeing it from that point forward. And there are a lot of different things you can see and add to it. And that's why the behavior compass looks so cryptic and confusing. And someone can look at it who doesn't know what it is, and it just looks like scribbles. So I'm sort of promoting this upcoming podcast that I'll be doing shortly. And I'll certainly announce it when it's there. And I want you to each and every one of you go out and make an effort to learn these skills. The 6-minute X-ray is is the shorter version of it, and it's an incredibly insightful book. As a hypnotist, you sort of learn to be much more compassionate toward people. I've had to do that just naturally, but this really sets it sort of in stone and sort of places it not just in your heart, but in your mind. That's the resource I want to give you. We're going to get back here. We talk every week. If you want to be live on these discussions, there'll be information below. And what I'd like you to do is just send me an email and tell me you want to be on this. Otherwise, I'm going to post these regularly to YouTube. All the information is going to be in the description. And I would love to help you become really great hypnotists and people and human beings. You took some time to watch this because you're here. You're not somewhere else. I deeply appreciate that little sacrifice that you took to watch this. And I hope I can see you again. Thank you so much.